Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another week. What I want to do is just briefly kind of go over last week. We did our discussion board and we really looked at an example of a eulogy. And then you guys did your outline. Please make sure that you review the feedback that I gave you. It's really, really important that you understand some of the things that you maybe did incorrectly so that you can then go and apply those to your rough draft and eventually your final essay. We have a big week this week. If you go to your week 3 folder, which will be available at this point in time, the first video is just kind of a reminder of that common language as you're reviewing your outline. I want to make sure that we reiterate some of those key terms like topic sentence, explanatory sentence, summative sentence, thesis statement. And I just want to make sure that those are becoming ingrained in your mind as you navigate how to receive feedback and apply feedback. I also kind of gave you an example of a body paragraph of a eulogy essay, and I broke down the various parts of that paragraph. So your topic sentence, your explanatory ideas, and your summative sentence to kind of give you an idea what a body paragraph should look like for this particular essay. A lot of you emphasize that you don't fully understand MLA format, or maybe you've never used it before. So this week, I gave you a little mini lecture from YouTube over some MLA format basics. And if you scroll down, I also gave you an MLA guide that comes from your textbook. And we're going to talk about textbooks in just a little bit. But hopefully that will help you. We also have a full folder. It's located in your essay topics and handouts, and that should help you as well. I want to make sure that you understand how to do MLA. We're going to be using that format all semester long. So if you watch these lectures and you still do not fully understand, please make sure that you reach out and ask questions. And then finally, the last thing that we're going to engage with this week is your rough draft. We're going to watch a short YouTube video over drafting and community writing groups and why they're so important. And then you have a great article to read in one of your discussion boards by Anne Lamott, which is essentially why we do rough drafts. And her article is just really insightful. It shows you the importance of a rough draft and what your thought process should be as you're drafting. This discussion board is going to be due on June 8th. I want to make sure you read it and respond to it before you submit your rough draft. Your rough draft, which is in this discussion board, is also going to be due June 8th. And I want to kind of go over the instructions to make sure you understand what we're doing. So it says, welcome to Draft Week. Draft Week is one of my favorite things that we do in English 111. It is a time for you to work hard on your writing, and it gives you an opportunity to allow your peers to review that writing. Earlier this week, we discussed a wonderful article by Anne Lamott regarding rough drafts. It's time to put those ideas to practice. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to submit your draft using a Word document, and you're going to attach that as your initial thread. The second thing you're going to do is on that same thread in the text box, you're going to type up your 3 major concerns. A few examples may be that you're concerned about your thesis statement, that your body paragraph 1 or 2 may be too similar, your transitions are weak. Whatever you're most concerned about, that's what I want you to express in that text box. Don't grow weary over small issues. Don't concern yourself too much with mechanical errors or your grammar. The big things are that you have a strong thesis statement, that your topic sentences are clear and direct, and that they set the stage for your body paragraphs, that you have deep, meaningful explanations, and then a summative sentence. And of course, that there are 3 distinct parts of your essay: your introduction, your body paragraphs, and your conclusion. In Draft Week, we really focus on those big issues, and we make sure that your major point pieces are in place and that there's something to work from. Mechanics and things are important, of course, but they're not going to make or break whether you pass or fail an essay. So really make sure that you have those pieces in place. After you have completed your initial thread, you've submitted your draft, you've given us some things that you want us to look for, you will need to review a peer's essay. You will download this attachment, and I'm going to pull that up in just a minute. And that is going to be your guide for answering questions about their draft. I want you to look at each question thoroughly. You are receiving a grade based upon how much you helped your peer. Give examples, highlight places in their paper that you can then attach. Be specific in your feedback. Giving really accurate feedback and full feedback only helps your course mates, and it encourages the type of community that can give constructive criticism, receive constructive criticism, and that actually helps. It actually helps you improve your grade. Be encouraging to one another. You can always find a way to encourage someone, and that is part of this writing process, learning how to be a good peer in your review. Attach this worksheet along with their essay if you made highlights or notes in their actual essay. And in the subject line, what I'm going to ask you to do is to put your name and the author's name. For example, I would put Logan Dupree's peer review of John Smith. This is the attachment that I want you to work from. And I'm going to pull that up real quick, and forgive me while I change my screen sharing. Okay, here we go. So this is going to be your peer review worksheet. So you're going to put the name of the author, so the name of the student that wrote the paper, your name, the name of the reviewer, and then I want you to go through each of these questions and really answer them thoroughly. The introduction question: how does the first paragraph introduce both the paper's topic and the writer's approach, or a general conclusion? Is the first sentence attention-getting, and is it relevant to the topic? What can you identify as the thesis statement? Suggest, if possible, a way to improve that. Structure: can you identify the organization of the paper from the main idea of each paragraph? What are the main concepts that are explored? Does each paragraph make a relevant point that is distinct from what's already been covered? What are the main conclusions? Essentially, do the body paragraphs have clear topics? Do you see distinction among each paragraph? Clarity and style: were there distracting grammar, punctuation, spelling, or word usage problems? Download the essay and highlight places where you see consistent issues. Is the tone of the essay formal? Are there awkward sentences? Try to explain why they don't make sense to you. This is a big thing, guys, when we're talking about a eulogy essay. When we talk about knowing your audience and understanding your purpose, in a eulogy essay, you are going to be using more casual language because you're talking to loved ones. You're talking to people who know this person inside out. So I want you to clarify for the person whose paper you're reading, does this do the job? Is this expressive to people who know you the best? Word choices and tone and the way that the eulogy is approached is really, really important. What are the paper's greatest strengths? Explain. What are the paper's greatest weaknesses? Explain. These are very basic questions. It really gives you a lot of freedom, but I also hope that in the same way, it gives you a really strong guide of what to go through, what to consider, what kind of feedback to give them. And in your response to your course mate, that's what I want you to attach. Please, please, please do not review a student who has already been reviewed. If you do that, you will get points deducted. Review someone who has not been reviewed. So just to give you some clarity, so in your create thread right here where you see my mouse, this is where you are going to attach your rough draft, and you're going to give us your 3 concerns. Once you have done that, you will go to a peers thread who has attached their draft, and your response to them will be that Word document with the questions. And then you will attach that document and maybe even their essay if you've highlighted or written notes that will help them in terms of some mistakes that they've made. So the next thing that I want to talk to you about are your textbooks. I know that we were kind of waiting on some kinks to be worked out. Under your course content, you are going to have, and I'm going to unhide that. I was hiding it while it was being worked on. You're going to go to eBooks and materials. This is going to be the link for both of your textbooks, the handout and the Bedford Guide. Before you can access the links that are built into your weekly assignments, these instructions right here, you need to click on those and follow them so that you will have access to all the textbook materials. If you take a look at those, and I'm going to share my screen to this document. Hold on one second. Computer's being a little slow this morning. Here we go. Okay, so if you take a look at this document, it says, in order to access the textbook links your instructor has placed in the assignments in Blackboard, you will first have to activate your license to the ebooks by going through this quick process. If you're getting an error message that says you do not have access, these are the steps you need to take. So you'll go to your ebooks portion with the Vital Source bookshelf link. You'll click on that link to your ebooks. And after you click on it, you will see the dashboard for both the books in your class. You will click Read Now, and you will be brought to a book login screen. You can either set up your bookshelf account or click No thanks, I'll skip this step. If you want to set up a bookshelf account, you will enter the email address you use for your bookshelf account and click Continue. If you are prompted to accept cookies, make sure you agree to accept those. If the email you entered is tied to an existing bookshelf, you will be asked to enter your password and be brought into the ebook within the bookshelf. If your email is not tied, you will be asked to complete your bookshelf by creating a password, choosing a security question, and agreeing to the terms and use. After clicking finish, you will then see the inside of your ebook within the bookshelf. At this point, you will be able to access those through my assignment links like the one that I showed you earlier in this video. If you choose no thanks, I'll skip the step. You will enter the bookshelf online without a full account, but you will be able to access the ebook through those direct links that I showed you earlier in this announcement. So again, guys, this is right here under course content. And if you have any questions about that, please do not hesitate to reach out. We can do a Zoom session and I can help you walk through that. And you can even show me your screen so that we can troubleshoot what you're working through. I'm really excited to work with you this week. Rough Draft Week is a really, really great way for you to learn and grow from the concepts that we've learned so far. Again, make sure you read that article by Anne Lamott before you really plug in and get started. The draft is not perfectionism. The draft is a time for you to get those ideas out on paper so that we can work together and grow an even better essay. If you have any questions, reach out, and I look forward to another great week of working together.